Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with our weekly Minks Monday Q&A, but before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently rocking, and that is the Chanel Le Boy bag in the new medium size with the black calfskin leather, the double stitching, and the ruthenium hardware. Okay, so let's get going, shall we? With the very first question from Carolina C. I would like to buy a black shoulder handbag. I've been looking at the Louis Vuitton Artsy MM in Empreinte Noir. What do you think about that bag? Do you think it will be a timeless piece? I like to purchase bags like the Speedy and the Neverfull since I know they are an excellent investment and will never go out of style. What would you recommend for a black shoulder handbag that is timeless, versatile, and holds its value? Okay, so what are my thoughts on the Empreinte Noir Artsy? I love it. I think it is such a beautiful bag. And even though I think it's a beautiful bag, I don't know, and I like the silhouette of the Artsy in general, but for the Empreinte in specific, I know that it tends to lose its shape very quickly, and from what I have heard, obviously, I've never owned it myself, and some people say that it can get pretty heavy, plus the embossing will end up not being as prominent as it was when you first got the bag. So if I was going to go, if you're talking about Louis Vuitton for a timeless handbag, I would probably have to suggest the Montaigne MM in the Noir Empreinte leather. I really like that bag. It has a beautiful silhouette. It's a structured bag. It will hold its structure, and it has versatility because you can wear it on the crook of your arm. It comes with a shoulder strap, so you can wear it that way. And it just has so many little compartments. And I think that one, and actually any time that I've seen it up for resale, or when I've had it for resale, it's always very close to its retail price. So it holds its value incredibly well. And I feel that the Artsy ends up losing a little bit more money. But regardless, I think both are beautiful bags. But in my opinion, I think that the Montaigne is a little bit more of a classic silhouette than the Artsy in general. So, but then again, I love the Artsy, like I said before, but that's just my opinion. Okay, Greg McRae, I am a 6 foot tall man and I'm looking at getting a Louis Vuitton Alma. I've been looking at pre-loved items because I cannot find the material I want online or in stores. Epi Electric Noir. I have no idea what size to get. I would primarily use this bag as a grab and go and a travel bag. Any help would be much appreciated. Okay, so before I forget, Greg, I don't know, hopefully it's still available, but I did see the Epi Electric Noir Alma on Fashion File this past weekend, so hopefully it's still there if you want to check it out. Okay, so I thought about this, and obviously there's two sizes. There's 3 sizes for the Alma, the BB, the PM, and then the GM. There was an MM at one point, but the GM, because, I mean, you're 6 foot tall, so the GM is 15.5 inches, and if I'm not mistaken, the PM is it 11.8 or 12 inches, I think, something like that. So it's a pretty big difference, and I love the PM size. I think it's a great size. It's great for every day, but if you want to use it as a travel bag, it doesn't open up as wide as the GM does. So it tends to, even though you can kind of move the zippers on the sides, it still doesn't give you, it doesn't have a lot of give. I feel that the GM has a little bit more give, although it is a little bit of a larger bag. But again, because of your height, I think it will look great, whether you get the PM or the GM. But, you know, you guys all know that the bag that got away from me is the Alma GM with the rose pop monogram vernis. So even though it is a fairly large bag, and I know that it would kind of maybe be a little bit more awkward to carry, if that makes any sense, I still think that the GM is a great size. So I would personally go for that one. Unless you don't like big bags and you want something a little bit maybe more not low key, because that's not the word that I'm looking for. But if you want something maybe a little bit, maybe like everyday friendly, I would go for the PM. But the GM is actually very pretty, and that's the one that I saw on Fashion File, so check it out if you can. Anna Overcashed. I'm stuck between the Epi Alma BB in Noir or the Speedy B25 in Damier Ben. I love the fact that I don't carry a lot, so I have extra room in the Speedy. But I also love that the Alma could be taken from day to night. Opinions? I would have to agree with you, even though I do love both bags and I think they'd be great, you know, for being able to transition from day to night regardless. I think that the Alma BB has just a little bit more versatility because you can wear it, you know, a little bit more when you're a little bit more dressed up than having to wear the canvas. And the Alma BB, even though it is small, it carries so much. That bag is so, you know, it's not what it appears to be because it looks really small, but I've seen so many YouTube videos where people just carry everything in there and it fits. So for that matter, I would just have to say that the Alma BB just has that extra little bit of versatility, and I would have to go for that one. Even though, like I said before, both are great bags, but the Alma BB, especially in the Epi Noir, just looks very classic. So I would go for that one. Okay, Princess Sunshine. I'm looking to add a Louis Vuitton monogram canvas bag to my collection. I love hobo and structured bags, but I can't decide on the Sully, the Delightful, or even a Neverfull. I currently have in my collection an Artsy Emprunt in Dune, Alma in Noir Magnetic, and a Chanel boy bag in black, so you get a sense of my style. Also, I picked up a monogram key holder in the Rose Ballerine, but I think it's too cute to add to my bulky car fobs and keys. Would the monogram key pouch fit 2 car keys with key fobs? Would you be able to do a quick demonstration on how to insert the keys into the key holder? Okay, so let me start at the very beginning. Which bag between the Sully, the Delightful, or even the Neverfull? So if you like structured bags, the Sully tends to lose its shape. I know that's why I ended up getting rid of it, plus a few other things. It is a very, very pretty bag, but it just kind of... it just kind of loses its shape, obviously, because it's a hobo. The Delightful, I think that one is a little bit more structured, but I would have to say out of all 3, I would go for the Neverfull. That one definitely holds its shape a little bit better. You know, it could be completely empty and it'll just sit on a table without falling over or anything like that. But I think the Delightful might have a little bit of a slouch. I can't remember. I can't picture the bag to save my life right now. But I would have to go out of all 3. It would be the Neverfull. Okay, so you got the key holder in Rose Ballerine, right? So you got this guy in the Rose Ballerine, but you think it's too cute and bulky car fobs and keys. Would the monogram key pouch fit 2 car keys with fobs? Would you be able to do a quick demonstration on how to insert the keys into the key holder? Okay, so if you were talking about two bulky car keys, I have mine, my key fob, and then my husband has a Jeep, so his key, this is his spare key. And these two, if you're talking about the key pouch, they would not fit in here at all. Plus your keys, I think your keys would have to be on the outside because these are just too big. And here's just a quick demonstration. There's 2, you know, fairly large key fobs or keys for car keys, and it won't, there's no way you'll be able to zip it up. Not at all. Plus be able to put other keys in there? No. And now on this guy, I don't know what is going on with my throat again. Now on this guy, I think this one has a little bit more give, so you'll be able to close it up with 1 and other keys. You wouldn't be able to fit 2 key fobs in here. I don't think so anyways. And if this one, this is such a pain in the butt because it's so hard to be able to put in here. Let me see if I can do it without damaging. Oh, here we go. It came on with ease. All right, so here I have my hubby's key, and then here's mine. Just to show you. There's no way you'll be able to close it up. This is way too bulky. That's why I don't like carrying this one. Because that will damage some interior of my handbags. That definitely will. But, you know, it's really easy to be able to put these in. I feel like I'm having major issues today. So you'd be able to just slip it right off because these little key slots are so easy to be able to put your keys in and out of. They're very, very easy, very, very user-friendly. But I would have to say that, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to carry 2 key fobs, 2 large key fobs in here, unless you had one permanently outside of the key holder and you put this one inside. So let's say yours is kind of like my husband's where the key is protruding out. Then that's the only way that you'd be able to get away with it in this key holder. But... it looks like you might only be able to use one. So hopefully I was able to help. Life's Little Luxury. I am considering purchasing the Celine micro luggage in black smooth leather. Ha! What are your thoughts on this bag? I have never owned or even seen a Celine bag except online. What I have been told is that they have amazing leather. Do you think that this bag will be dated in the future, or do you think it's a classic? Any thoughts, pros, cons? Thank you. Okay, so this is going to seem a little strange, especially because I always say something different on my channel. Okay, so you guys know that I always talk about, you know, buying bags that I know that in the future will be able to get me most of my money back, if not all of it, you know, and I talk about that all the time, that's why, you know, sometimes I lean towards luxury goods in general. Okay, so Celine, even though I will have to agree with you, they have beautiful, beautiful, amazing, amazing leather. They don't tend to hold their resale value as well. Case in point, it'll be anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 that you'll be losing if you were to resell it, especially if you go through a consignment shop, and that's at their pricing. So if you were to, you know, if you were to, let's say if I was to sell mine, there is no way that I'd get what I paid for it, because, you know, I'll end up losing a lot more money on it. However, I will tell you that the Celine that I have, my Phantom, and I don't know why I didn't bring it up, that is the only bag that I can say with certainty that I didn't think twice about it. I could have cared less if it had any good resale value. I didn't even think about that. The thought didn't even cross my mind because I was so, I fell madly in love with it when I saw it. And I just, you know, I enjoy that bag. Do I use it every single day? No. Does it have fantastic leather? Absolutely. But I just didn't care. I couldn't care less, you know, because I really enjoy the bag. And sometimes that's what it's about. Yes, getting your money back for some of these luxury goods is something that, you know, is important, especially when you're spending that type of money. But sometimes you just fall head over heels for a bag and you could care less if it has great resale value, because you're going to get so much joy out of using it. And that's kind of how I feel about Celine. And I do want to add another bag to my collection. And again, I'm not thinking about the future and what I'm going to be getting for it. And I think that they're still slightly popular bags. But again, it's just one of those things that I really don't care if it's not in style 5 months down the road. I just really, really love the bag. And I'm actually wanting to get a, is it a mini luggage? Either a mini luggage or a medium. Is it the medium? I don't even know. But I really like it. And the smooth calf leather that they have is just, I mean, it's just incredible. So that's just my thoughts on it. Like I said before, it seems a little different, not hypocritical, but it seems a little different from what I've always said on my channel. But when it comes to that one bag, I could care less because I know I will be using it and enjoying it. And honestly, when it comes down to it, that's what it's about, to be able to enjoy these handbags when you use them, right? But like I said before, it doesn't mean that I've changed my thoughts on, you know, buying handbags that you know will stand the test of time and be very classic. Not at all. But again, there's just sometimes those feelings when that bag makes your heart sing, and it doesn't even matter. So I would go for it. You know, I think it's a beautiful bag, and yeah, I would go for it. Okay, John Curran, I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Do you like Goyard? Why or why not? I do. I really do like Goyard, and I have thought so many times about adding one to my collection. And I don't know, it's just kind of different. And I like the fact that you can personalize it as well, even more so than a Louis Vuitton, if you're talking about monogramming and things like that. But I will have to say, Goyard, their bags hold their resale value so incredibly well. And that's funny because I just talked about resale value, right? But it's true. I mean, a Goyard loses maybe a few $100s, if that, unless it has some other funky design that most people don't want or something like that. But for the most part, they hold their resale value so incredibly well. And I believe it's the St. Louis that is the closest to the Neverfull. And I don't know. I kind of like it. And next time I'm in San Francisco, I always end up missing going into the boutique for whatever reason. Next time I go, I will definitely check them out because that is another brand that I would like to add to my collection somewhere down the line. Maybe not in the near future, but somewhere you know, within the next year or year and a half or something like that. But that's so funny because I just, you know, but again, like I said before, if you are feeling like getting a Goyard, if you're feeling like getting a Celine, sometimes it's all about how that bag makes you feel. You know what I mean? Okay. Heather McGinn, Minnie, I was wondering where to pick up the Chanel CC with Strass crystal. Earrings. I don't live anywhere near a Chanel boutique. Closest one is 8 hours away. Can these only be purchased in the store? Are there any secondhand sellers you know or would recommend for that? I am very leery of going the pre-loved route. I am searching for a pair to hopefully wear to my wedding, for my wedding day this fall. Oh, that is awesome. Congratulations on your soon to be wedding. Now, I just brought mine out, and the Strass crystals actually can be purchased over the phone. You can call any boutique, whether it's in your state, whether it's the next state over or anything like that. You can call them and see what they have. A lot of these sales associates will end up taking your information down and they will text you what they have, which is really awesome. So it makes it so you don't have to be worried about what, you can see exactly what it is that you're getting when they text you pictures. And, you know, just there's so many different, you know, types of the CC earrings. So if you just say, you know, the Strass Crystal CC stud earrings, they'll be able to give you a different variety of what they have. Because if you just said the Strass Crystal, there's just so many that you can choose from. But obviously these are the little small ones, and then they're all different, especially, you know, as the seasons come and go, they always have different ones. But yes, you can definitely order them over the phone, and you can even call the 1-866 number or the 1-800 number, and they can help you out to locate them for you if you want as well. I know I've done that before when I couldn't find something in a boutique and I was just having a really, really hard time. There was one of the representatives on the phone that just went above and beyond and definitely helped me out to find the exact boutique that I had to call so that I can get an item. So yes, you can definitely do that. You know who else does? You can call Bloomingdale's, Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, all those guys that might have Chanel boutiques inside of the department store. They will be able to ship them to your house as well, or ship them well, yeah, to your house, because your closest boutique is 8 hours away. So that's what I would do. Okay, LEM. My less than a year old Louis Vuitton Zippy compact had some minor glazing issues. Long story short, they can't fix it after 2 attempts and are offering me a credit. I'm actually shocked that they can't fix it. My dilemma is that they no longer offer the old model and I don't like the new style. What do you do? What would you do? I already have the Zippy coin purse and the Zippy in Empreinte. Personally, what I would do is I would either hold on to that credit until you found something that you really, really liked, or put that towards something else besides a wallet, maybe a different SLG, maybe a shawl, maybe a bag or something like that. Because you're right, a lot of people weren't too crazy about the style that they did for the new compact Zippy wallet. And since you already have 2 other wallets, that's personally what I would do. I would either hold on to it till you found something that was really fantastic, or maybe with new pieces coming out throughout the year, you can always wait for that, or just go for something completely different and then just, you know, just, yeah, that's what I would do. But unfortunately, I know it's such a shame that they changed the style, because it was so, and I hate to say the word again, it was so user-friendly, that compact Zippy wallet. It was just perfect, you know? And yeah, it's very much so a shame that they changed it. Okay, Heather Hammonds. My Speedy 30 bandolier is only a year and a half old, and I only use it in the winter months since it's the Demi Ebene pattern. The hardware on the bag is chipping off and it looks really bad. Does Louis Vuitton charge a lot to fix hardware? So I'm guessing they won't do it for free since it's over a year old, though I have barely used it. Truth be told, I don't know if they label it as a case-by-case scenario, but sometimes I have taken In the past, I have taken items that are over a year old, and if I needed to get a zipper fix, they would do it in store for free. So it didn't matter if it was, you know, if the item was over a year in age or anything like that. But if you're talking about replacing the entire hardware, you might have to obviously send that off for repair. And anytime I have noticed that you don't deal with changing out the leather, it's always a lot less expensive than you would think. For example, the Tivoli GM, when I got that relined, obviously the Tivoli is a pretty big bag, and I got the entire thing relined, and I think I paid $150, or was it, I think it was definitely under $200. I think it was $150, or maybe it was $175, something like that. I can't remember, but it was a lot less than I thought. I was honestly thinking that when they quoted me, it was going to be like $300 or something like that. But anytime, again, you deal with not having to replace any of the leather on any of the pieces, it's always a lot less. So, you know, I would definitely go in there and see what they quote you. They might be able to do some things in store for you and then just send off the rest, so it won't be as expensive, you know what I mean? So you can definitely check that out. But I would take it in there regardless of its age, just to see what they say. Okay, Lucy LV 1977. Would you ever get a jumbo single flap even though you prefer structured bags? The jumbo single flap from Chanel, even though I do prefer structured bags, and you guys know that, I think there's a few in my collection that are kind of, you know, they're a little slouchy. If I found one in great pre-loved condition and at a great price, I definitely would, knowing that it was going to lose its shape, already knowing that in the back of my mind that it was going to lose its shape. And if I paid if I got a great deal, then it wouldn't bother me as much. But I am very curious about this the jumbo single flap because of how lightweight it is. And I really do like the fact that you can fit maybe a little bit more in there versus the double flap. So I'm very much so intrigued by it. And I would love to, yes, be able to add one to my collection. Whether or not that will happen, I don't know. But I always hear about everyone raving about their single flaps. But again, I prefer the double because it does hold its structure just that much better. Okay, C Luna. I'm debating the Alma BB in the color Dune or Cherry. Which one would you go for and why? I love the colors and I think both of them could be neutrals. I just can't decide. That is a tough call because the Dune is a beautiful, beautiful color and so is the Cherry. So obviously the person, you know, that you guys know loves red. I love red so much. You know, I don't know. I love the idea of a red bag. I have a red bag. Do I use it all the time? No, but I love the fact that it's red. Does that even make sense? I sound like a lunatic, but the Dune, because it's a little bit lighter, I personally would freak out a little bit more because of color transfer, because I tend to wear jeans a lot. I tend to wear darker clothing. So even though it would look fabulous, I think both are fabulous. I think that the Dune might just scare me personally a little bit more. You know, it's kind of like I've always wanted to get a Chanel white bag. Just a stark white classic flap would look fantastic, but I know, even as careful as I am, I would destroy that thing, you know, so that's kind of how I feel about the Dune as well. The Cherry, obviously it's not a black, so you'd be able to see any color transfer, but it's a beautiful pop of color. I think it would really, you know, stand out with any outfit that you wear. So honestly, it's a tough call, but personally, I would go for the Cherry over the Dune just because the Dune is just a little bit more, I'd have to be a little bit more careful and I'd want to be able to enjoy that bag without thinking of color transfer or anything like that. Okay, and last question from Fashionably Amy. Can you describe the difference between the new softer Chanel Caviar leather and the old Caviar leather? I'm referring to your Instagram post with the red Le Boy bag. See, I told you guys. Also, why were you not crazy about it, and how does it compare to their smooth calfskin leather? My biggest dilemma is that I want to add a boy bag in Caviar in my collection, but knowing that the new Caviar boys are soft, I wonder if I should just go with regular smooth calfskin then. I wish I could check them out in person, but we won't see the new collection until much later this summer in Canada. Okay, so all Caviar leather is calfskin leather. It's just a matter of a different finish that they have. So you have the iridescent, obviously you have caviar leather, or you have caviar with the pebbles and whatnot. But what Amy is talking about is that, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys will know. But a few weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, I posted a picture of the new Le Boy bags that are in this soft caviar leather. And of course, I was looking at a red bag. That's the one that my sales associate sent me. And, you know, I really wanted to add a caviar boy to my collection. But because it is the soft caviar, I was very hesitant. And I actually ended up deciding against it. And the reason why that is because the regular caviar leather is a little bit more structured. It will hold its structure a little bit better. It's a little tougher, if that makes sense. And the soft caviar leather is, even though it has the pebbles, and even though it will be somewhat of a structured bag, I feel that over time it might lose its shape. And, you know, the boy bag, because you have these little ridges here, obviously it was just the caviar throughout here. You still have the ridges here, but I just felt that it might end up wearing a little bit more different. I personally like how structured and how tough and how hard the regular caviar leather is. So I wasn't too crazy when my sales associate said that it was a soft caviar leather. So it wasn't like the previous boys that were first introduced where, you know, they were just so incredibly carefree. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't want it to lose its shape. You know, calf skin in general is just very, very soft leather. So when you add that extra pebbling that the caviar has, it does make it a little bit more carefree. But I know, again, that's just my personal opinion. It probably doesn't make any sense because it's still, you know, it's still something that will be durable, but just not as much. Because when I envision caviar, when I want caviar leather, I want to feel the same thing that I feel in the jumbo. I want to feel the same thing that I have in my medium large. So the fact that it wouldn't feel the same, it'd be a little bit softer, kind of just drove me away. But, you know, it's a tough call because I did have someone say that they bought the same bag that I was looking at and they said that it was still pretty much structured. So it's all a matter of preference or if you want to go for it. But I personally prefer the older style of what's it called? Of the boy bags when they first came out, because those things were just awesome. Awesome. And I really wish I would have added one to my collection. All right, you guys. So that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to help you guys out. I know I was having some issues with the whole throat thing and whatnot. But I also want to let you guys know that, you know, whenever it comes to a bag, and if you're having second thoughts about it, whenever you go into a boutique, like I've told you guys in the past, when you go into a boutique and you have your heart set on a bag, you already know. You can't wait to get home and you can't wait to use it. And there's other times when you buy a bag and it might sit in your room for a little while and you're kind of like, well, I don't know. You know what I mean? That's kind of the same hesitation that I have with that I had with that Le Boy bag, because even though I knew in my heart what my heart was telling me, you know, Minnie, wait for a different bag, I still was kind of a little mesmerized by the red. I kind of got wrapped up in the red, you know, but you should always listen to your heart. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I've had quite a few questions on Instagram, you know, about whether or not someone should go for something. You know, it's been sitting in my room for a while, but honestly, when it sits in your room or when you have that slightest doubt, I think it's your intuition. I think it's your instinct telling you that maybe this isn't the bag for you. You know what I mean? So, all right, you guys. So again, thank you so much for watching. This week, I have a couple of reviews. One Chanel piece on the oak case, and then the wear and tear on this guy right here. I'm going to see if I can get a few of them done today because, again, I have a crazy, crazy week. All right, so I will see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.